Hey there, you're listening to the Serious Shift blogcast. Half podcast, half blog, half video, and 100% serious shift. Dennis comes to you with insights and attitudes to help you shift. Each Serious Shift blogcast is all about helping you and your business become the best versions of yourself. Are you ready to become the best? Now your host, Dennis Moseley-Williams.
Hi, I'm Dennis and welcome back to the Serious Shift blogcast. A pleasure to be seen by you today. I'm beaming in again from my little office in Ottawa, prepping to go away to New Jersey and Nashville this week. This is a blog about innovation. I have just one question for you. Here it is. Are you hiding from it? Are you hiding from innovation because there's no guarantee that the improvement you make is going to delight your audience the way you want it to, and therefore, as they say in sports, you're not playing to win, you're playing not to lose. It's very dangerous. You have to innovate. And I want to share a little personal story with you. So maybe sometime last year, I'm always working on my talk all the time. And I don't just have one, right? So there's one talk, there's another talk, but you're always constantly adding and adjusting and making it even better, as good as you can make it. And I have learned over 20 years or so to get comfortable trying some things that might not work. In fact, I say it in every talk I deliver. You got to be willing to try some stuff that might not work. That's how magic happens. That's how innovation and creation of things that are worthy happen, is we try some things we're comfortable with, even though they might not work. We get comfortable with that idea. So picture this. I'm all suited up. I'm standing beside a stage with a microphone on and a great big audience full of human beings. It's wonderful. And I'm being introduced. I don't mean I'm about to be introduced. I don't mean, in a half an hour I'm on. I mean I'm waiting in the dark, about to walk up on stage and rock the set. And while I'm being introduced, something is said, and it triggers a thought. And I decide I'm going to change my talk right now. Right here on the fly. Boom, I'm going to change it. And it's a really simple change. I'm going to take this story I will often start with, and I'm going to move it 10 minutes down the road, and I'm going to take that story from 10 minutes down the road and pull it up front. And I'm going to lead with that one. So up I go. Good morning, everybody. And I start to talk. Two things. It's a big room full of people, big lights. And the hardest part about speaking in a room like a really big show like that, it's not that the more people that are there makes you nervous. It's that because there's so many people in the room, because the stage is so big, they have to light the stage up so everybody way at the back can see you. So conversely, the presenter can never see anybody. Those big rock and roll shows you see, the band on stage can never see anybody but the mosh pit. In my case, my mosh pit is the front row, and usually all you can see is legs. But in this particular case, I can see some faces. So I launch with my new story. I'm a minute into the talk, let's say, and I think, how's this going? Because it doesn't feel right. And I look down and I can see somebody's face, and this is what they look like. Hang on. Not the face you want to see. They look devastated, like they need a Kleenex. Like I realize, oh no, I've told a story that brings them to a sad place. It's not where you want to be. So there's me talking, and inside my head I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the audience while I talk to myself, and what I'm telling myself is, whoops, I appreciate where you're coming from, Dennis, but now you gotta wrestle this bad boy back onto the tracks here and get it to the station. Like, oh no, you started in the wrong place, you gotta fix this. And I did. They've, just for the record, they've invited me to speak to them 2 more times since then, okay? Okay, so take yourself back to then. 72 hours later, that first day I felt pretty grim. I was with my friend Susan, and I even said to her, I said, you want to know the difference between me today and me 20 years ago? 20 years ago, that little experiment would have hung on me for a few days. Now it hangs on me for several minutes, maybe 45, and then I let it go. So 72 hours later, I'm in Phoenix, big show, 800 people. The day before, I do the sound check. Check your slides, make sure see the room, know the stage, all that stuff. And I have this thought. And my thought is, oh, here's a cool change I could make. But this time I hesitate. Oh, I just did this. Fingers all blistery, Band-Aids all over them. Oh, didn't I just burn my hands really badly doing this the other day? So this time I decide sleep on it. Just chill out. Sleep on it. I wake up the next morning and I rock the set. I make the change. I decide, no, I'm doing it. And I make the change, but it has the effect I want. It gets the traction I'm looking for. It shifts everybody. They see it. You're always finding a different way, a better way to just adjust things by that 1%, like I talked about in the blog the other day. So it works like $1 million, and life is fantastic and wonderful. Okay. Sometimes you got to innovate. It's no guarantees, but you got to be willing to try some things that might not work. And you got to call yourself on it when you're hiding from innovation because you're fearful. Okay? So that brings me to absolutely today. So today you're getting the Serious Shift blogcast on a Thursday and not on a Monday, a Wednesday, or a Friday. Here's why. Because we're innovating. We're taking everybody's best practices. We're paying for advice. We're finding advice. Advice is being offered. And we're trying our very, very best to get this formula, this recipe right for you. So for every person who emails in and says, oh, I love these video blogs. It's about time. Well, I have somebody else who emails in and says, I loved reading your blogs. So we're doing our best to give you both options. For everybody who says, these blogs are great, keep them coming. I love the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We get somebody who says, I just wish you'd send them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Or somebody else who says, I just wish you'd send them once a week. And then, of course, there's others that say, I wish you did it 5 days a week, twice a day. Somewhere in all of this data, right, is the right answer. It has to be right for me. It has to be right for you. So that's what we're doing. These blogs make me, frankly, a little bit uncomfortable. Not having it completely figured out makes me, frankly, a little bit uncomfortable. But I'm willing to continue to innovate and adjust and measure because in the end, I want to get to something great, which is something that ultimately brings value to your life that hopefully you feel it's worth tuning in. And in fact, maybe even for some of you, I can't live without it. I love this thing. So it would be great if what we do and how we do it would keep our audience engaged and interested forever, but it won't. Okay, sooner or later, everything loses its interest. What was new gets old. So here's what else would be really great. Being able to count on a business or the people that you admire to try every single time to do something just differently or better enough to be worth noticing. Wouldn't that be fantastic? That's all we're trying to do here. And so we want to thank you for your patience and sticking with us. And please keep your comments and feedback, etc. coming because it helps me. It helps me figure out what I want to do. But the biggest lesson you got to take away from this is do not hide from innovation. Do not play to not lose. Play to win. Okay? Your audience will forgive you if you're trying really hard to make it even better for them. They'll forgive you. They'll see what you're trying to do. You see what I'm trying to do. I trust you. You'll forgive me. Anyhow, as always, means a lot to me to have your attention. Thank you very much. And wherever you are in Blogland, have a lovely day. I'll see you again soon. Possibly on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
If you're looking to transform the way you and your business does, well, business, head over to SeriousShift.com and download our latest strategy guide, The 3 Megatrends. It will forever change how you view your place in the future. Thanks for listening, and make sure to give Dennis a review anywhere you listen to your podcasts. See you next time.